81k Mind Spike was Mercmine's highest damage. I've never seen Mind Spike be the Shadow Priest's highest damage.
I like the status is going to move on here as Method Black dips down to the lower bracket. And up next, we have Splyce versus WoDstar Hiphop. Now, Splyce, they're formerly known as Follow Esports. They consist of Absturge, Walter Bear, Jelly Beans, and Dota. Dota actually replacing Vossel on this roster now, representing Splyce in this GPL number 2. They're going up against WoDstar Hiphop, which is going to consist of Nas, Shifty, Grayson, and CMG. So right away, when I think of that composition or that team, I think of the two compositions of RMD as well as GodComp. But we're gonna have to see.
These pictures, dude. I'm just looking at the picture.
You like
oh
them?
my god, they're so cute.
They're so cute. All right, but yeah, so looking at the Absturge's team as well, they have that Feral Druid compositions available to them. Absturge running the Restoration Shaman, Jelly Beans on that Hunter, and Dota on the Warlock. So they have that Feral Warlock Shaman composition, FLS. They also have Jungle Cleave, which consists of a Feral Druid and a Hunter.
Hey, what happened to Vossel?
I'm not sure. They decided to go with Dota this time around. Dota, a new addition to the team.
Everyone's getting kicked this week, dude. Everyone's getting the ditch.
Everyone's getting kicked. First is Majin, and now it's Vossel.
Man, all the people that get kicked should make a team and name it Team Karma.
Name it Team Karma. I mean, yeah, we'll probably see something like that moving forward. But going into this game, I don't know. What compositions are you expecting to see out of these two teams?
I definitely think FLS from Team Splyce, and then probably RMD from Team WoDstar Hiphop. I would expect those are going to be the comps we're going to see for most of this series, if not the entire series.
All right, that being said, are we going to see a combat RMD or a subtlety RMD?
I think Naj is pretty good at combat. I mean, obviously, he probably is more proficient and would prefer to play sub, but I think it'd be smarter for him to play combat against FLS.
Yep. I'm going to have to agree with you wholeheartedly, but here we go, guys. The very first game of this Best of 5 series is begun, and it's going to be on the Grand Arena. Alright, everybody, welcome to the Grand Arena, the very first game of this Best of 5 series between Splyce and WoDstar Hiphop. And you are absolutely correct. We see an RMD, but he is going sub. He's not going combat. He wants to stick to his bread and butter. But is it going to be enough damage against this this Feral Lock Shaman composition? We're going to find out here in just a few short seconds.
I still think sub is pretty decent. It's just that Walter Bear is going to kind of be able to predict the damage a lot easier whenever Shadow Dance is available or a Vanish from Naj. He knows damage is coming. He'll be able to retreat away, whereas combat, it just does so much consistent damage that you're almost always having to run away. So let's see how well it fares in this specific matchup. Naj moving forward, the entire team in stealth, sap onto Absturge, cheap shot over onto Dota. Who are they going to go after? Walter getting cloned up. Looks like they are going to go after Dota initially here. Now swapping over onto Azra with that, or Absturge with that full cheap shot, trying to burst him down really hard with that DFA. Absturge triggers into a kidney shot. Will they finish him off? He gets corroded on his trinket. Absturge gets cloned at 6%, but that's going to give him time, I think, to get a link. They need to be able to time something off the clone. Oh, that clone's actually going to save him, and Absturge is going to escape. But that was so scary.
That was so scary. Crazy setup coming out from WoDstar Hiphop. I expect nothing less from Naj and Grayson. I'm going to be honest. Shifty now taking a bit of this pressure from the Demon Soul as well as Walter Bear's Incarnation. He's just trying to get away, trying to stay in these guys' face. But Absturge is like, I'm just going to purge you up a little bit. Make you nice and juicy for my FLS to connect to. Haunt's connecting on to Shifty as well, and he's still such a juicy target. Grayson, though, taking a whole bunch of pressure as well, pushing in. Can he land the polymorph? He lands the polymorph on the Absturge, and now they're trying to swap it over onto Walter Bear. Walter Bear going to go ahead and use that wall for now, but look at the damage going out from Splyce. There's the I think that was actually defensive coming out from Naj. Walter Bear looks like he's going to be okay for now, but Dota's second Dark Soul is being used and is just pushing WoDstar back.
Yeah, Shifty getting full cloned. Grayson still on hypothermia. Naj getting swapped over to Splyce. Have all the pressure in the world. Absurd sitting right on top of the team, spamming Purge. We see Shadow Dance out from Naj in desperation to try and burst down Walter. Walter with no trinket. Absurd with no trinket. Can they land the CC? They don't get the sheep. Walter gets the wall up, and now Splyce have all the pressure in the world to rotate through here. Full stun over onto Shifties. Everybody rotting down. Naj in retreat, trying to line a sight. Absurd's getting Frost Rod. Grayson trying to do whatever he can. He gets locked on Frost. Shifty gets cloned. Naj is forced to cloak. So much pressure still on to Grayson. They're trying to force that second block. Big Ferocious Bite is going to get the second block out from the game. Shifty still has Iron Bark. He still has an S. He needs to recover his team, try and rotate something around, but with no Shadow Dance for 26 more seconds, Splyce can freely move in here. Full kidney shot onto Walter. Deep freeze over onto Absurge. Grayson looking for a sheep. Lands the full sheep. Can they get any more pressure? Doesn't look like they have it. And once again, without the Shadow Dance, playing a subtlety, your burst is so reliant on that Shadow Dance, and without it, they're getting nothing, even with this polymorph chain onto Absurge.
Yeah, I was really expecting Walter Bear to take a whole bunch of pressure, especially considering he has no wall available to him, but it doesn't look like it just yet. But as I say that, the DR clones are landing on Absurge, and Walter Bear is taking a bit of pressure. Grayson constantly getting locked down by Dota, getting interrupted on these setups. This is the dance coming out from Naj. Walter Bear taking a whole bunch of pressure, but is going to catch a gigantic heal from Absurge. But at this point, he's still in a bit of trouble. Garot going out onto Walter Bear. He can't heal himself all that much at the moment. Absurge finally leaving the CC. He does have that trinket. He does have that link available to him, and Splyce looks like they're going to stabilize again for now. WoDstar Hiphop can't do this much longer. They have no blocks on Grayson, and Naj is vulnerable to a swap at any moment without that trinket.
Yeah, Walter knows that. He lands a full stun onto Naj. Naj actually has that feint up, reducing a lot of damage here. Lava Burst from Absturge, trying to finish off Naj. He doesn't have Cloak for 12 more seconds, forced to pop that evasion. Walter Bear now retreating, maybe trying to clone him up on that evasion. Despite falling behind on the healing, Shifty held onto a lot of his mana here. As long as he can stay reasonably stable, maybe they can make something happen here. But Absturge has his Trinket Link available. Actually, full blind, overlapped with the Deep Freeze. A huge misplay here from WoDstar Hiphop. They've got to be careful. Maybe need a sap from Naj, but he doesn't have any vanishes to get it, and now the blind basically wasted. Absturge able to sit through it for free. Pressure rolling onto Shifty as he gets locked on that regrowth. Dark Soul from Dota to follow it up. A Haunt connecting over onto Grayson. He's going to get Iron Bark from Shifty. Soul swap the full row of dots onto Shifty right away there as well. Are they going to go after him? Walter popping the Incarnation now. How are they going to deal with this immense amount of pressure? Shifty already displacing the other side. Naj getting bursted down and finished off. Shifty out of position there to save him, and Splyce are going to one up WoDstar Hiphop. Despite that very scary opening pressure, they just fell so far behind as a result, and Splyce are going to take the first game here and have a pretty significant lead. I'm pretty sure that 73k UA is a Dispel UA and not a dot tick.
Yeah, we're currently watching the replay, but yeah, I mean, looking at that team's opener, man, I was like, Splyce was a bit scared. They had to have been shaken up by that initial opener. And, you know, Shifty might be kicking himself for that Cyclone, but who knows? He could have gotten that link off. There could have been like a gap from the CC coming up from his team, but I don't know. I would like to see more setups like that opener, but that opener has like those proc trinkets, the on use, everything is available to them in that opener. So recreating that is quite difficult to do. But as soon as that opener was done, it looked like Splyce was pretty confident in rotating through their defensive cooldowns and taking the W here in game number 1 against WoDstar Hiphop. I'm curious to see what map they're going to be choosing next.
I mean, I actually like RMD going on Shaman at the beginning, just because you're almost always going to guaranteed get that Trinket Link.
Right.
You're either going to just burst them down like they almost did, or you're going to get Trinket Link. So I think going Shaman at the beginning is definitely really safe. Typically what you see RMD that do, however, is just blind the Incarnation right away. And I didn't notice that.
Out, yeah.
Maybe he did and ended up breaking, but I didn't notice that.
Oh, I didn't see it at all. But yeah, I mean, I've been seeing that going around quite a bit. Is when that Incarnation, it's such a big cooldown for Feral Druids. It's such a long cooldown too. It's 3 minutes. And when you're able to shut that down, it is a big deal. Like using buttons in CC instead of setup just to shut that down is definitely, I think, underrated. I mean, you see that full blind go out onto Feral Druids when they pop that Incarn, then into a sap, and it's a really big momentum shift. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. I mean, we've seen plays like that from this team, from WoDstar Hiphop in the past. They definitely have them in them. But going into game number 2, they do have that God Comp available to them, but I think that they should probably stick with the Rogue Mage. What do you think?
I think Rogue Mage is really their only option. I think they would get ripped apart as God Comp.
All right, fair enough. Here we go. We're going to jump into game number 2, which is going to be played out on Tiger's Peak. Welcome everybody to Tiger's Peak at Splyce versus WoDstar, match number 2 of the GCD Pro League, tournament number 2. Splyce running that Feral Lock Shaman once again, and WoDstar Hiphop running their RMD, but you see that little alteration. Do you see that little alteration? That is Naj on a combat rogue instead of sub. So he's going to have a lot more consistent pressure. A lot more burst too.
It's just guaranteed damage on every setup. He's not reliant on a cooldown to do it, so I think it's smart running combat here. I'm curious if they're going to do the same kind of strategy. They're going to lose a bit of initial burst, so going after Absurge could be a bit more risky. Absurge getting sapped with Water Shield. Garrote Silence over onto Dota. Are they going to swap, though, once he builds up some combo points? Looks like they're holding on to a bit of damage here. Full clone now onto Absurge. Naj getting cloned up. Bash over onto Shifty. Pressure rolling onto Grayson as that Haunt connects. Dota soul swapping the full row of dots around onto everyone. Walter trying to get some rake stuns here, but he does get full kidney shot. A lot of damage coming out from Naj here with the adrenaline rush. Walter trinketing into a restun. He's got that survival instincts up. Will that be enough? Now popping that incarnation. This is where they need to be careful. I would like to see a blind onto Walter to try and deny this. Naj popping the evasion to try and deal with it. It looks like they're going to hold on to the blind, and Walter's going to freely reign around the map here with his incarnation.
Yeah, and it looks like Walter's going to jump right onto Shifties throughout this incarnation. Rips going out onto everyone. Naj cloaked earlier. He could be in some trouble here. There's a defensive bomb coming out. Grayson's taunts are connecting onto him as well as an Iron Bark, but it wasn't enough. Grayson forced a block here, and Splyce is smelling blood at this point. Shifty pulling back super far, scared of that Walter Bear damage, but it looks like the offensive cooldowns are going to fade for now for Splyce, but Dota's still running wild with that offensive cooldown from Dark Soul, I'm sorry. Bash goes out in the shift. He's going to trinket out of it for now. Naj has that cloak back in 35 seconds, but he's got to be careful. Red buff's killing spree going out onto Walter Bear. He's taking a whole bunch of pressure, but he's still at full health. Absur's not into any CC. He's going to heal through that red buff killing spree like it was nothing.
Yeah, Naj got shut down with the Shadow Fury from Dota, and there was no cross EC on Absurge, and Absurge again got to sit through the blind for free. Smoke Bomb had to be used defensively almost there, so there's really no opening right now for WoDstar Hiphop, and they're just kind of in the middle of the map taking damage. Naj forced to trinket. Will it be enough? Shifty just struggling to even deal with the damage. Iron Bark goes over onto Naj. Grayson looking for a deep freeze, lands the full sheep. Can they follow up any damage? Full kidney shot over onto Walter. They need to get a kill here. Absurge sitting through those polymorphs. Ice Nova comes out from Grayson. Can they finish him off? Absurge getting cloned up. Absurge going to trick it out of that. Drop the Spirit Link. Now they need to swing the momentum. Naj using that Cloak of Shadows. WoDstar Hiphop know that they're in a dire situation. They have to retreat, pull back. No Iron Barks, no Cloaks, no evasion, no trinkets. Shifty's sitting down for a drink, actually. The fact that he's after a minute and a half really is credit to Dota and Walter's damage. Full bash over onto Naj. How are they going to deal with this situation? Naj building up for the next red buff. Grayson actually getting hexed. Shifty not able to dispel it just yet. Actually going for a re-stealth there. Actually gets locked on his Cyclone from stealth, so not getting too much done, but there's the deep freeze. There's the triple CC setup. Walter's going to trinket, trade that out for his survival instincts, locking out Grayson on that Frostjaw now as well. He's going to get a reset on a bit of damage here, but there's the killing spree out from Naj. A lot of pressure following it up. Walter's actually going to gate away really well to position there, and unfortunately, WoDstar Hiphop's defensive kiting actually gave Walter a little bit more defensive utility with the gateway. Walter's still taking an immense amount of pressure, though, caught into that full kidney shot with no trinket. Shadow Fury shut down onto Naj. A full fear dispelled right away. Absurge once again able to heal through it, though, with that Aura Mastery. Now getting sheeped up. A clone onto Walter. They're going to shift that over onto Dota. Do they have any more damage to finish off Walter? They need to chain the CC on Absurge. They get the half polymorph. Can they get the full Cyclone? Shifty needs to get the clone here. Another clone on the Dota. Frostjaw. There's the full clone. Walter not able to stop it. Walter needs to be able to kite and survive here. It lands a full bash on a Shifty. That's going to stop the Cyclones. Absurge gets full blind or half blinded with no trinket. Walter in so much trouble, just running for his life. Run, kitty, run. He's down at 18%, leaping right back. Absurge just chasing after it desperately with no Spirit Links remaining, trying to heal him back up. A full clone now over onto Dota. Deep freeze is available for Grayson. Are they going to go for it? Absurge drops it on the ground to try and ground it. Frostjaw into the deep freeze. Grayson needs to land this sheep if they want to get a kill. Full sheep on Absurge. No trinkets remaining. They need to finish Walter off. Walter has that incarn rolling. Killing spree comes out from Naj. Will he fall? Walter is just unkillable. The Live Lord staying alive throughout this crowd control. He will survive, and now they need to start getting some pressure onto WoDstar Hiphop.
Oh my gosh, that incarnation to stop that killing spree was crazy. There's the bomb coming out from Naj onto Walter Bear, though. Walter Bear has that wall available to him. He survived for so long, and now he has it back up available to him as soon as he can get out of that CC, but it looks like he's going to hold on to it for now, and somehow Splyce survived through that. Walter Bear just pinging around like a ping pong, a true Live Lord. There's a bash going out onto Naj. He has that yellow buff available to him. He's going to get cloned up. That buff might fall. Now Grayson now in a bit of pressure as well. He has 2 blocks available to him at this point. Shifty being put into that stun. Full Cyclone lands. This might be Grayson's block, his first block of the game. Naj still has that yellow buff available to him, and he wants to get even more. The kick goes out onto Dota, but Demon Soul coming down from Dota. He wants to get some damage done, but there's the bash on the Dota, the stun on the Walter Bear, the polymorph onto Absterge. Walter Bear is going to go ahead and use that wall here, but Naj has that red buff, and he is a scary rogue when he has that red buff.
Grayson forced to use the Iron Bark there. Shifty running out of mana, getting locked out by Dota on that regrowth. His entire team slowly rotting down. Shifty caught into the maim now with no way out. Naj and Grayson still at half HP. A full kidney shot onto Walter. This could be the last opportunity for WoDstar Hiphop here. If Dota and Walter can rotate some pressure around, Absterge preemptively or mastering, trying to ground the defreeze, not able to get it. Full defreeze into the full sheep, but there's no stuns for Walter. He's looking for some cyclones. Lands a full cyclone onto Shifty. A full bash onto Naj. He's going to get that evasion up. Grayson needs to keep the CC rolling, but he's not able to. He gets locked out on the polymorph. Absterge's crowd control is broken up. He drops the windwalk totem. They're going on offense. A maim stun onto Shifty once again. Naj building up for that red buff, as you were saying, but Grayson's going to go down to the kitty bite of Walter. Bad manner bite. Tactical bear strike.
Okay, was he out of blocks?
Yeah, he had a block.
Oh, okay. So that was a down goes moment. Let's take a quick look at that replay. That was crazy pressure coming out from this FLS team. Walter Bear staying alive throughout all of that damage. And then they just swap that pressure right over onto Grayson. Dota doing a great job of this Shadow Furies as well, just peeling this RMD whenever he can. And then the positioning in that game, wow, that Ferocious Bite coming in hot from Walter Bear. He's just going to gate away. A little bit of flashy play coming out from him. And Splyce is going to take game number 2 here on Tiger's Peak at just about 7% dampening before that game ended. And looking at that Ferocious Bite, he did hit an 80k Ferocious Bite. That's got to hurt.
Tactical bear strike.
Tactical bear strike. All right, guys.
Imagine what it would feel like to have a bear catapulted at you.
I don't want to imagine that at all. That sounds terrifying.
Oh, that's what Walter just did.
I actually had a bad dream about bears last night. I had a bad dream because earlier on in the week I watched the video. I don't know if you guys ever seen the show I Shouldn't Be Alive, but there was a dude, a hunter, who actually got completely mauled by a bear, and it gave me bad dreams, man. But that's probably what just happened to Grayson there. He just got mauled by a bear. But the next map is going to be chosen by the RMD. They're going to bring it to Tolvaron Arena. RMD versus FLS on Tolvaron Arena. What do you think their thought process is when they made that choice was?
I mean, it allows them more distance to kite and run away, which they really need to kind of overextend Walter and take him down. We can see when Walter takes his life into his own hands, he's a very slippery kitty, and they just can't get a hold of him. And now here on Tolvaron, Shifty should be able to get drinks more freely. I would like to see them kind of just rotate around defensively on this map, maybe even go back subtlety and just kind of play a little bit of a poke in, try and get some cooldowns, look for a kill, don't get it, run away, and reset, go back in again, and just constantly do that. And eventually, Walter will get caught in a bad position. Still, going down 2-0 like this isn't a position you want to be in as a team against anyone. One win away from getting knocked down to the losers bracket, and looks like Naj is going to be staying combat, however, into this match.
Yeah, it looks like it. But here we go, guys. We're jumping into Tolvaron Arena. See you guys in just one hot minute. Welcome everybody to Tolvaron Arena. It's Splyce versus WoDstar Hiphop. WoDstar Hiphop just one game away from being knocked down to that lower bracket, going up against Splyce's Feral Lock Shaman, and they're looking pretty dominant here in game number 3.
Yeah, let's see if WoDstar Hiphop can find an opening here. They're very close to Walter Bear. You can't deny that they were just like
so
on the edge of finishing him off. So they're definitely capable of taking him down. Hopefully the map is going to help them here. This is their last chance to pull back this series. Absterge laying down a healing rain. Does get sapped up. Who are they going to go after initially? Garrote Silence over onto Dota. Walter coming out of stealth with a pounce on the Naj, looking for a clone. Not able to get it, however. Grayson shutting him down with a counterspell. Polymorph onto Absterge to follow it up. Full kidney shot onto Walter, but now it's kind of a bit of a misplay here because there's no CC onto Absterge, and he's able to free cast and heal him through this initial pressure from Naj. They did hold on to the Adrenaline Rush, I believe, so there's still a lot of pressure available for WoDstar Hiphop, but I can't help but feel that there's a bit of a miscoordinated effort here between Grayson and Naj on their goes.
Yeah, I mean that opener didn't really get all that done, and Dota's Demon Soul is just doing some work, getting those haunts connected over onto Grayson's gonna force that that Iron Bark, but Incarnation coming out from Walter Bear, he's gonna get kidneyed on it. Ooh, the bomb coming out from Naj. He wants to get offensive here. It looks like they're gonna put some pressure into Walter Bear, but Walter Bear isn't taking all that much damage at all. The DR kidney coming out from his mirror image, but Absurge into that full polymorph, and Walter Bear is pretty deep in there. They're going to swap it right over onto Grayson as soon as anyone leaves. I love how Walter Bear doesn't chase Shifties too far. He just gets the pressure out and pulls back and plays it safe, and I think that's a big reason to why he's doing so well here today.
Yeah, Shifty is able to escape that Incarn without using his Bark skin, so you'll have that available for a swap. Dota popping his Dark Soul here, trying to capitalize on Naj with no trinket. A lot of burst following it up. Absturge might finish him off with the Lava Burst, and Naj is going to go down. And Shifty's, he held onto his Bark skin for the Incarn. I see Walter chopping up Naj, turning him into meat. Is he going to feed him to the horse? He has to feed him to the horse.
Watching the
he left. He left before he could feed him to the horse.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, here we go. I'm just taking a quick look at that replay to see what exactly happened. Naj being caught into that Cyclone right there, and Shifty's pulling back because he's taking a whole bunch of damage as well, but the bash goes out, the Lava Burst coming in as well. It was a team effort to go and just burst down Naj here, and Splyce is going to take game number 3, taking a quick 3-0 against WoDstar Hiphop, and WoDstar Hiphop is going to be dropped down to that lower bracket as Splyce continues in this upper one.
Do we get to see the chop up, or does the VOD end?
I think the VOD ends.
Oh, you see a little bit. You see him in bear form. Chef Walter Bear.
All right, guys, we're going to be jumping into the next match tonight.